Hey guys, I'm reviewing another movie. This is going to be on another 2022 movie which stars Pierce Brosnan and Kelly Scott. This is also going to be a tribute to the late William Hart, who passed away on March 13th of this year, so may he rest in peace. And it was narrated by Julie Andrews, and that's going to be on The King's Daughter from 2022. So, I've heard about this movie since February. And so, I just remember hearing about this movie from a friend until they recommended it to me. But then I got to watch this movie for free. And when I did watch this movie, it was on Palatone. Because I couldn't understand what that was. What picture was. So, here we go with this movie review on The King's Daughter. And this may not be a spoiler alert, so yeah. So the story of The King's Daughter plays out like this. It's where a young woman named Mermaid, who was born and raised in a convent in France, is a rebellious free spirit who often causes trouble for the abbess. Mermaid father, King Louis XIV, fears for his own mortality after being wounded by an assassin's bullet, but is told by Dr. Leverett about a special underwater creature with magical powers that can grant him immortality. So Louis sends a group of fishermen to do whatever they can to capture the creature. A mermaid, and her mate was also caught, but Yabes simply releases him before heading back to Brent. So that's the basic story of The King's Daughter, and that's that. Honestly, I actually like The King's Daughter. I know many people did not like this movie, but this movie, I gotta say, was good. Because it's not one of the best, not one of the greatest, not terrible, but I gotta say, Pierce Brosnan and Kelly Scott did a great job with their solid acting. And William Hart, which this is the last movie that stars the late William Hart before he passed away. Because a lot of you guys have heard that William Hart passed away this year because of natural causes. So, may he rest in peace. And I'm sure that 2022 was out to a good, peaceful start, unlike 2 years ago, which started out in a crappy way with COVID. But it's old news and we got over it. And the director did a pretty good job, which is Sean Namarella did a good job directing this movie. But not only that, he produced this movie. And this was actually released by Gravitas Ventures, which this was the first Gravitas Ventures movies that I ever seen. In fact, this was opened 15 years ago in Los Angeles, California. But there's some movies out, but they have done a few other. They have done a few other movies like Our Friend and Queen Bees, which I might consider checking those two films out soon. And also, Our Friend was supposed to come out in 2019. It was released in 2019 somewhere, but it was finally released to theaters last year as a limited release, which I might check out Our Friend and the other one soon. This even talks about a mermaid, which I really love to swim on a hot summer day, and I love mermaids. Because mermaids are just beautiful, they're cute, and maybe cute like Captain Marvel, which I love Captain Marvel. But if I was to choose from mermaids to Captain Marvel, I would probably choose both. But Captain Marvel was part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because The King's Daughter is actually not a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. It's actually a movie about a mermaid, because this kind of reminds me of the live action version of The Little Mermaid, but released by Gravitas Ventures. But I gotta say, The Little Mermaid from 1989, it's definitely better than this movie. It's definitely a million times better than this movie. Because we all know last year, Samuel Ryan, who played Sebastian the Crab, he passed away last year. But he did have a great role in that movie. And I also love Jodie Benson's role in that movie too. But according to The King's Daughter, I actually kind of like Kayla Scodelaro's role in the movie Crawl, which I actually like Crawl from 2019. It's a pretty good movie. But if I was to choose a better Kayla Scodelaro's role that she was in from Crawl to The King's Daughter, I would probably choose the movie Crawl. Because Crawl is a million times better than this movie. It's just not about humans, it's all about alligators and stuff. Which surprisingly turns out to be a good horror movie. Which I like horror movies like Scream, The Conjuring, Get Out, A Quiet Place, and Halloween, which I love these five. And I definitely love to watch them on Halloween because they're fun and spooky to watch. They're really fun and spooky to watch on Halloween. But John Gilbert did a great job editing this movie. And a lot of other companies did a great job with this movie. Like Bliss Media, Brookwell McNamara Entertainment, Livestream Pictures, Penny and Films, and First Up Productions. And this was actually kind of like a common movie that's basically not a rip-off to every movie. But the one movie that I didn't like was After Darkness, which I thought After Darkness was a rip-off of Misery from 1990, which I gotta say, Misery from 1990 was definitely a million times better than After Darkness. Because when I heard about Misery, when I was on that stupid Tell Us About group that I don't need to be explaining about, I gotta say, Misery, I've been hearing, it's a great movie, a good thriller movie that I really liked. I would probably go with Misery, because After Darkness doesn't compare to Misery. But After Darkness have separate parts. And I've seen other common movies out there, like that cheesy drama Personal Best. Like, I don't hate it, it's just okay. It was just an okay movie, but not one of the best. But there's better drama films out there. Like Rain Man, which I love Rain Man. And a lot of other dramas, to name but a few. I enjoy better dramas than this film. This was actually more of a fantasy movie that I like. This one I liked a little bit, but The Little Mermaid's definitely better. Which I love The Little Mermaid. And I love to swim in the water on a hot summer day. I just love to swim and float. I just love to swim and float at the same time. And sometimes I like to relax in the water, which is fun. So needless to say, The King's Daughter from 2022, like, this movie was supposed to come out on April 2015, but then 7 years later, it was finally released. And yes, this movie got negative reviews from critics, but I'm just going to give The King's Daughter from 2022 a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It's not the best, it's not the greatest, it's not terrible or anything, it's just, it was pretty good, but it was pretty decent. I liked it. But with that being said, thanks for watching. Until next time, this is Gladys Benny as T-2001. See you later. Oh, and before I go, The King's Daughter was the second 2022 movie that I watched. The first one being Hotel Transylvania 4 Transylvania, which I think Hotel Transylvania 4 was is a million times better than Turning Red. Not Turning Red, The King's Daughter. Was definitely better than The King's Daughter. I used to think that Hotel Transylvania used to be a 5 out of 5 in the heart. I'm just going to give it a 4 out of 5 for sure. Because I changed my mind recently on Hotel Transylvania 4. So anyways, thanks for watching until next time. See you later.